Oh. Yeah. Hello, you dirty potters. How are you today? This is going to be one of my very rare update videos. Every now and then I disappear for a bit. You probably noticed you haven't gotten a real YouTube video other than the live casts that I do every Saturday around 11 a.m. I've been working pretty hard. I've been developing a class that I'm planning on opening up pretty soon. I've been working on the store update because those of you who've been keeping up with my website, earthnationsceramics.com, know that I've been revamping it and I haven't done a store update in like 5 months. And I also have been developing a glaze making class, which is kind of the gateway drug to getting into glaze making. And I'm doing something at NCECA, and I have a bunch of stuff going on. But this video is not only to lay out how you can keep up with my work other than clicking the bell next to subscribe, you can also make sure that you keep up with my work on a non-social media platform basis by going to my website, going to the bottom of the page, and now signing up for my newsletter. That's right, Lindsay finally got me. I have a newsletter now. You know, it was really Lindsay and Sue McLeod, who's a fantastic glaze maker and friend of the channel that we talk about a lot. We name drop Sue McLeod a lot, especially on the podcast that Lindsay and I do, the Mud Peddlers. So it was fun to have her on the podcast so that we can talk to her. And while on the podcast, her and Lindsay have indoctrinated me into getting myself a newsletter. They made a pretty good argument in that when TikTok went down and when Facebook went down for like a day or so, she was like, yeah, I still have the newsletter. People still got my work and what I was doing and where I'm gonna be in my classes and all that stuff that keeps me going without the algorithm kind of shoving me down to the bottom of the pile just because I didn't put enough of a sound on it or something. And that's been something that's been a challenge for me, especially in the social media world. If I don't post at the right time, or if I don't post a very specific sound that's popular at the moment, or if I don't post like I'll post something like this, and this takes a lot of work to do. I have to put this in the kiln, I have to glaze it just right. It's an Amico glaze. They sponsor me sometimes with their glazes, and this will get like 30 likes. But sometimes I put a little funny little meme up, and this thing gets like 1,000 likes in a day, which is crazy to me. And I just feel like the algorithm doesn't really reward an artist such as myself who is more into making and showing you what I make than he is making silly little TikToks and Instagram reels. And there's no disrespect to anyone who does that. It's just that like I am not in that niche. For example, I make about 1,000 pictures and videos worth of content every single year, but you probably only see about 100 to 200 of those, because a lot of those are my glaze proofs. And I save those in my files for me, because I like to have a record of my own glazes if minerals change and whatnot. But those are mainly for me, and you just get to see them because they're cool little content. I also share a lot of those things with companies. So if a company sends me a glaze, I'll make a couple of glaze proofs of their stuff so they can use them on their social media, and then we can cross-pollinate. But you don't really get to see that much. That being said, I produce a lot more than you get to see. And the newsletter is kind of how I'm trying to build a system so that you can see that stuff and know what I'm doing and when I'm doing it more often. So this video is first and foremost to announce the newsletter, in which you can go to earthnationsceramics.com and sign up for if you truly want to keep up with my work outside of just watching YouTube videos. The second part of this video is me basically telling you all the things that's in the newsletter this one time. From this point forward, anything monthly that I will be updating or doing is going to be in the newsletter. I'm not going to make a video like this every single month. So I'm just going to do it this one time, and then if you want to sign up, you sign up, and if you don't, you don't. That's on you. A good example of this is that I've been teaching classes for like the past 4 months at IMCO on top of my regular 9-to-5 job where I teach classes. And a lot of people don't even know I teach classes in person. That's because I'm really bad at sharing that information. And my class only fits about 8 people. It's a very private, focused in thing. I want to meet you where you're at, and I want to fix any bad habits you have with throwing or anything like that. And I have presentations and PowerPoints and things of that nature. So I almost never advertise those. If you just find them at IMCO, then you just find them, and you're lucky if you find them, and that's that. That will be in the newsletter on a monthly rotation from now on, and you'll know when I'm doing those classes and when I'm not. Thing number one, a lot of you have been looking for my store updates, and my store has been empty for the past like 4 or 5 months. The next store update will be right before I go to NCECA 2025 in Utah, Salt Lake City, which is on the 26th or 25th of March. So that store update will most likely be March 20th. The wild thing is plenty of you actually go to my website and check out my stuff. Like Squarespace gives me statistics, and it'll tell me like, hey, 500 people this month went to your website and left buying nothing. What's going on, man? And then I have to sit in the corner like, I'm shy and I don't want to release my work because I don't think it's high quality enough, and I lowered the price again. So I need to get over that and just put work up there, which is actually very easy to do. It takes me maybe 2 or 3 days to like put maybe 20 pots up there because I go really in depth with size and all that. So that is the next time you will get a store update. It will be mid-March. Watch out for that. You can click the bell next to subscribe. You can stalk my social media, or you can sign up for the newsletter. I'm just saying. The second thing that rolls from the previous one, I will be going to NCECA 2025 in March. So if you are there and you want to hang out with me, I will be there. Lindsay's not coming with me this time, so I'm mostly going to be bothering Tim C because he seems to know everybody and I'm kind of more comfortable around him than a lot of other people. So I'm gonna be with him and probably the person that I call my handler, Nico, and I'm just gonna be with them. Usually Lindsay and me would be traveling around in NCECA and kind of meeting people and whatnot, but it's just gonna be me there. So I'm gonna be walking around with my camera. Please say hi. I'm trying to be more social this time. The culture shock of moving into the suburbs has slowly gone away. And now that I'm wearing Crocs and socks, we can be friendly neighbors.
Why are we still here?
The third thing, I will be doing an in-person event at a shop called Tea Cozy that I've been working very closely with for quite some time. Somewhere around March 21st, I think the poster for it is right here. That will be on the newsletter, but I will also be sharing that on social media, especially that of Instagram and Blue Sky. It's like $10 a ticket. I'm making tea bowls for it right now. If you want to see one? You want to see one? Yeah. You like that? Yeah, I haven't even trimmed this one yet. That's right. I'm one of those potters, the ones who like Japanese organic type of weird work. Yeah, I'm one of those guys. I'm going to be making a bunch of these for the event at Tea Cozy while they serve us matcha tea, talk about tea, and I have a small presentation of what, I don't know yet. I have so many presentations in the files that I could pick any one and talk about it for like an hour. But I also think it's probably more prudent of me to just kind of call it like a tea meet and greet where we just kind of hang out and we might talk about something along the way, who knows? But tickets are being sold to that on this URL. It is $10 and I think only 20 or 25 people can be allowed in that space at a time. So tickets are limited. I'm also probably gonna give away the tea bowls that I'm making if that sweetens the pot, because these are more for practice and a one singular use of a presentation. And I'm not gonna put these on my website at earthnationceramics.com. So theoretically, if you come, you could probably get one of my tea bowls for like $10. Thing number 4, the Dirty Potter Challenge is probably going on right now. If you have not seen the Dirty Potter Challenge, because plenty of people love the Dirty Potter Challenge number 5, and they want to be part of it, go to this video and I will link it also down below. I'm saying this a second time other than the video that I posted before this video, mainly because so many people don't click the bell next to subscribe that they miss it, and by the time the challenge is over, they're like, well, you never posted another Dirty Potter Challenge, you did it like a year ago. And then I'm like, yeah, I only do once a year. I posted it, you missed it. It was like 6 months ago. And they're like, I didn't know that. And I'm like, okay, well, you would have if you would have kept up with the videos. Turns out there's a button that does that for you. The 5th and final thing that I will say is that I have been working for the past year to develop a deep iron saturated khaki type glaze. And I finally succeeded in making about 5 of them. They're very hard. They're notoriously difficult to make in the glaze designer space. But the company Clayscapes took note of one of these 5 developmented glazes that I had made. And they essentially bought the recipe from me, and they will be selling that recipe sometime probably at the end of March, which means you will be able, much like the Amico dipping and layering glazes, like these big boxes of glaze, you just have to mix with water, and then you have your own version of the glaze, to buy my personal glaze recipe at Clayscapes Glazes on their website, which is very, very exciting for me. We also have a discount code with them, so if you buy any of their powdered glazes, you can put in the code EARTH10 to get 10% off. And I don't know if my glaze that's coming out and that code stacks. I mean, I would try it anyway, just in case. But from what I hear from the company, tons of people have already been using it. Here's a picture of it, here's a glaze proof of it. It's fantastic. I like it. I've been working with it for quite some time, and I've been using it in a lot of my work just because it kicks the crap out of Randy's red. It truly does. When you look at Randy's red chemically, it's just like iron and a crap ton of Gerstly borate. But I'm very, very excited that a company has picked up my glaze, and if this goes well, maybe they will get more glazes from me and we can make like a whole Earth Nation glaze line. You know what I mean? And then I can get my patrons and the community in on it, and we can develop together, and I'm very excited for it, right? But the first glaze that is coming out is the Red Lotus glaze, my recipe from Clayscapes, and they will be selling that on their website. The link will be down below. Woo! Okay, I'm done. I'm done. Ooh, I have the headiest of aches. I'm trying this thing called intermittent fasting, but when, like, if you razor it down to and not try to like complicate it too much, it's just, you're just skipping breakfast. If you're just skipping breakfast, which means you're not eating the calories from breakfast. And that's what's making you lose weight. It's not like a special thing. Sorry, I'm grumpy because I'm hungry. You guys have a good day. I'll see you later. I might see you at NCECA or maybe at the Tea Cozy event. I love your Dirty Potter faces. Hopefully your next kill node looks kindly upon you. And I will see you, Dirty Potters, next week.
Thank you for your patronage.